Bradford City continue their 2025-26 League One campaign with an away clash against Liam Richardson's Reading FC. And in today's video, you're going to find out how both teams have got on so far this season, what my starting 11 would be for this game if I was Graham Alexander. If you do go on to enjoy today's video, then make sure to like, comment and subscribe. But my team Bradford City, we currently sit 4th in the League One table. After 33 matches, we've got 17 wins, 7 draws and 9 defeats, where we've scored 42 goals and also conceded at 36, which leaves us on a positive 6 goal difference and 58 points. Our last couple of matches then have been a win, a loss, a win, a win and a loss. Pretty much every game. In fact, I'm pretty sure it is every game in 2026. Bradford City have won every home game and lost every away game apart from Blackpool away and Cardiff at home. Our form so recently has been pretty black and white. On Tuesday we had a 1-0 win at home to Rotherham United. Matt Pennington scoring his first goal for the football club was all she wrote in that one. Bit of a disappointing and a bit underwhelming sort of game. I think a lot of people expected us to come into this game and batter Rotherham, but it certainly wasn't the case. Yes, they didn't have a shot on target, but it certainly didn't feel a very comfortable 1-0 win. We also had a 3-1 defeat away at AFC Wimbledon. For some reason, we made 5 changes going into this game and just didn't play very well. There's no real surprise that when you play a lot of second string players for the large part, then you are going to come out on the wrong side of the result. Deservedly beaten. They were better than us all over the park and very disappointing for another sold out away, and to see such a shocking performance away from home and concede yet another 3 goals on the road. But prior to that one then, we had a fantastic 1-0 win at home to Stockport County. Anthony Sarsfield scoring the only goal of the game against his former side. Did the same in the reverse fixture, and I think Stockport are the only team in the top 6 that we've done the double on so far this campaign. A real playoff 6-pointer in this one, and thankfully we've managed to come out of it on the right side. We also had a fantastic 2-0 win at home to Peterborough United. Best performance of the season so far for me. Absolutely outstanding in this one, and genuinely, if it finished close or if not in double figures, I don't think anybody would have complained. We absolutely battered Peterborough, and hopefully we can put on a similar type of performance in this game on Saturday. And then just before that one, we had a 2-1 defeat away at Luton Town, where, yeah, the scoreline probably does show quite an even game. We had some decent chances in that second half, but I think we were fairly beaten in the end, and we know since Jack Wilshere has gone into Luton Town that they have been a very strong side at home. But it was a decent performance and a defeat that I can certainly accept. Compared though to Reading FC, they currently sit a few places below us in the table in 7th position. After 33 matches, they've got 12 wins, 12 draws and 9 defeats, where they've scored 48 goals and also conceded at 43. That leaves them on a positive 5 goal difference and 48 points. Their last couple of matches then have been a draw, a win and a loss. So again, this is another big promotion 6-pointer. They're 7th, we're 4th. We're only 10 points ahead of them. I know that seems like quite a big gap, but when you cannot buy a point on the road, let alone a win, the gap could suddenly be down to just at 7 points by full time on Saturday. But their most recent match then, they had a 1-1 draw away at Port Vale. I'm sure they'll be very disappointed with this result, given that Port Vale have been the whipping boys so far this campaign. To concede in the 96th minute, such sloppy defending from Reading. I don't know why they pushed their line up so high, and in the end, to be fair, I think a point probably was a fair result. This certainly has been far from Reading's best performance of the season so far. They also had a 1-1 draw at home to Bolton Wanderers. Again, going into the game, I don't think a point is a bad result, but again, they've conceded in the 96th minute. It's happened in back-to-back games. Without that, they've actually won their last 4 matches. Jack Marriott at this moment in time is in fine form with Reading FC. Out of a deal with the club in the summer. Who knows, maybe he fancies going on the piss with Anthony Sarsfield, but look at his form. He has been absolutely outstanding over the last 10 games, and so far this season, 19 goal contributions in 23 games. Absolutely outstanding footballer. Didn't play in the reverse fixture and hopefully has a bit of an off day against us on Saturday, but I think the manner of the point will be very disappointing there for Reading. They also had a fantastic 3-2 win at home to Wycombe Wanderers. Again, Jack Marriott scoring scoring a hat-trick in that game. He's got every type of finish in the locker. Very, very dangerous forward, and we're going to need to be on our A game at the back. We've kept a lot of clean sheets at home recently, but I couldn't tell you when the last time Bradford City kept a clean sheet on the road. Was it maybe Plymouth right at the beginning of December? So we need to keep a clean sheet in this one, and that's going to be very hard to do given the form of Jack Marriott. But Wickham, they're not a great side on the road. They also had a 2-1 win away at Wigan Athletic. I'm pretty sure this was when Ryan Lowe was still in a job at Wigan, and you would expect really to be beating Wigan. Former Bantam Paudie O'Connor coming up with the winner in the 87th minute. I saw the other week against Bolton, I think it was, that he had another one of his teeth knocked out. That happened when he was playing for Bradford City, I think at home to Salford City under Gary Bowyer in the 2019-20 season. That's some great knowledge from me there. And they also had a 3-2 defeat away at AFC Wimbledon. Again, Jack Marriott finding himself on the score sheet, but a Marcus Brown hat-trick in that one. Only big clubs have conceded 3 goals away at Wimbledon so far this campaign, and also Marcus Brown. He scored in both fixtures against us, actually. Before we do go any further though with today's video, please make sure to drop a like on there for me and subscribe to the channel as well if you are new. Can we try and hit 150 likes on today's video? And don't forget to get your thoughts in down in the comment section down below. Let me know down below your score prediction for this match. What would your starting 11 be as well? Would you make any changes from Tuesday's win against Rotherham? In terms of my team then for this game, I would slightly tweak the formation and go with the 3-4-1-2. I think especially away from home, it's very important that Bradford City allow themselves to have that extra man in midfield, because clearly the 3-4-3 isn't working away from home, and the definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over again and expecting different results. It didn't really work last season. I think we only won 5 away games in the whole of last campaign. I think we've only won 4 or 5 games on the road so far this campaign as well. So I think a slight tweak in the formation make us a little bit more solid in the middle of the park and not so easy to play through. In terms of my goalkeeper then, I would stick with Sam Walker. Delighted for him to get yet another clean sheet on Tuesday night. Didn't really have much to do in the game. There's a big catch that he needed in the final couple of seconds, but that was about it. They didn't have a single shot on target. The only times he was really under pressure was when we were kind of doing dodgy back passes towards him. I think that happened in the second half with Baldwin. Wasn't really looking and just looked to flick it back to Walker, who was already started coming out, and that on another day could have been very dodgy, but thankfully it wasn't, and great for him to keep another clean sheet. Hopefully he can keep one in this one. In terms of my back three then, at right centre back, I would go with Matt Pennington. Solid performance for him on Tuesday. Delighted for him to get his first Bradford City goal, and it's more the manner of the goal, because there has certainly been a few games this season where I've questioned the endeavour of the Bradford City players, but I cannot question Pennington at all with that. He just wanted that so much more than both of the Rotherham players, going in like a steam train. That is exactly everything that I want to see in a Bradford City player. He could have been kicked in the face and lost 3 teeth, but that's why the fans, Bradford City fans, love Paudie O'Connor so much, because he would go and do that. Pennington's put his head in where it could have potentially hurt, wanted it more than the Rotherham defenders, and he's reaping the rewards of that as he has got his first Bradford City goal. In the middle of my back three, I would go with Aidan Baldwin. Again, absolutely outstanding on Tuesday night. I think it was between him and Curtis Till for man of the match. I would have Till at left centre back for this one, so an unchanged back three once again. I think firstly Baldwin was absolutely fantastic. Them diagonals are so important, especially on quite a big pitch against against Reading. It is going to be quite important to have Baldwin in the side, but I think defensively, if anybody's going to be able to deal with Jack Marriott in a 1v1, Baldwin is that man. Out of the contract with the club in the summer, as we know, and hopefully is tied down to a new long-term deal regardless of whatever division we are in. And as my left centre-back, like I say, Curtis Till, I would have him remaining in the side. I thought again on Tuesday's experience was so important for us. Obviously I thought he'd be a bit of a doubt for the game, came off at half-time against Wimbledon and it looked like he'd picked up some type of hamstring injury. Thankfully it doesn't seem to be anything in that, and obviously he played on Tuesday, was absolutely outstanding, and again he is so important to this Bradford City side defensively. I think that probably is our best back three, so unless there are suspensions or injuries that has to play every game between now and the end of the season, you don't need to be rotating the defence. Let them build some consistency, partnerships, and let's move on to the midfield, where as my right wing back I would go with Josh Nerfville. Obviously has played and started the last 4 matches where we've played Saturday, Tuesday. Now obviously this would be his 5th in a row, but hopefully given that we've now got a week's break after this game against Reading, that he can get through another match. And I think Josh Nerfville is a very inconsistent player. You don't really know what type of performance that you are going to get from him. I don't think he played actually in the reverse fixture, so hopefully on the big pitch at Reading that will suit his game and he can get another assist, because I think certainly in terms of the output from Josh Nerfville, he's more of a creator than a goal scorer. In terms of my two holding midfielders, firstly I would go with the captain Max Power. Great for him to be back in the side on Tuesday night, a change that we did all expect. I don't think Evans had a great game against Wimbledon, and obviously comes back in, we get back to winning ways, keep another clean sheet. I think between now and the end of the season, Max Power is one of those players that if he is available does have to play every single game, and hopefully he doesn't pick up another 5 yellow cards between now and the end of the season and ends up missing 3 games, because obviously 15 yellows is a 3-game ban. That would be a massive blow. I don't know how it would work. Say if he picked up his 15th booking in the 46th game of the season, would that mean that he'd miss every single playoff match? That would be a massive blow for Bradford City. Partnering power in the midfield, I would go with Jensen Metcalf. Thought again on Tuesday, absolutely fantastic. Really unlucky not to find himself on the score sheet, either with the chance that Wheatley laid off to him, which he put just wide in the second half, or from the free kick where he did hit the crossbar. I think he's getting closer and closer to getting another fantastic goal, and hopefully he can get one in this game against Reading, because as we know, their midfielders are certainly not shy of scoring from long distance, likes of Charlie Savage and especially Louis Swings. Hopefully Metcalf can score a screamer of his own. And completing my midfield 4 then, at left wing back I would go with Tyreek Wright. I think he's doing incredibly well to keep Ibu Toure out of the side at this moment in time. I certainly think Wright has got the attributes better than Toure to play in that wing back position, especially away from home. We saw Tyreek Wright get the assist in the reverse fixture for our second goal, where he took on Paddy O'Connor 1v1, and I think he's just getting better and better as each game does go by. And I think if Bradford City are a League One football club at next season, then I see no reason why Tyreek Wright should not be given a new contract. I really think he's massively kicked on from last campaign, where I didn't think he was great in League 2 last season. This season though, in League 1, I do think he has been on the whole absolutely fantastic in wing back, not necessarily in the front three. As my central attacking midfielder then, just behind the 2 strikers, I would go with Anthony Sarsfield, Bradford City's most important player, and I've got a video coming out very soon for the Tier 3 channel members talking and explaining about how important Anthony Sarsfield is. It really is as black and white as if he plays we win, if he doesn't play we lose. So he absolutely has to be playing in this game. Scored the opening goal in the reverse fixture. There's nothing else really to say about Sarsfield apart from he is an outstanding footballer. He absolutely needs a new contract. In terms of my 2 strikers then, obviously Caden Jackson will hopefully only miss the next couple of games through injury, but who knows, that could potentially be his season over, which is a big blow because I think he is Bradford City's best striker. Will Swan I don't think will be back available until next Saturday, where we host Leyton Orient, so that only really leaves you as 3 options. Firstly though, I would go with Paul Mullin. Now I haven't been massively impressed by Paul Mullin so far, but I think in the minutes that he's not really had that opportunity to play with a Sarcevic or a Poynton, and he's not really had much. A lot of the time he is wrestling with defenders. He's not really had somebody else to take that pressure off of him, and we were playing hoofball up to Mullin when he's going up against some of the most physical centre-halves in the league last week against Wimbledon. So I would like to see him start this game with a strike partner, and that for me should be Stephen Humphries, who obviously got 2 goals in his last 2 away game cameos on off of the bench, so hopefully he can get yet another one in this one. I don't think it was Humphries' best performance in the world on Tuesday night, but certainly it wasn't his worst. And when you're looking at the options between Mullin, Humphries and Wheatley, I think Wheatley is feeling a lot of pressure at the moment to get that first goal, bit too eager, offside a lot, committing a lot of fouls, was subbed on and then subbed back off on Tuesday night as well after only 45-50 minutes or so. So I do think Mullin and Humphries are 2 good striking options. If you then want to go 3-4-3, you can put Humphries off of the left, which I think away from home Humphries would certainly suit that position a little bit more than Poynton. But that would be my team. Let me know what you think of that down below. On the bench then for me, that would leave Joe Hilton, Joe Wright, Ibu Toure, Lee Evans, George Lapsley, Bobby Poynton and also Ethan Wheatley. The players currently unavailable are Nick Powell, Caden Jackson, who I think went for a scan today on his injury, so fingers crossed it is the best case scenario. We need him back in the side as soon as possible. And also unavailable is Will Swan, but it sounds like he's taking part in some training at the moment, and the full week that will we'll have next week will hopefully build him up for that game against Orient. If not, then we're still playing Saturday, Tuesday, but having another striker back available is very important. So the players who miss out then through selection would be Harrison Ashby, Kieran Kelly, Louis Sibley, and also Joe White. Obviously 3 of those 4 were signed in January by Bradford City. Let me know your thoughts on some of the additions that we've done in January. Now that we're nearly a month away from the window closing, how do you look back on Bradford City's January transfer window? But anyway, I'm going to leave it there then for today's video. If you have enjoyed, please make sure to drop a like on there for me and subscribe to the channel as well. If you are new, can we try and hit 150 likes as I said at the start of today's video? And don't forget to get your thoughts in down in the comment section down below. Let me know down below your score prediction for this match. What would your starting 11 be as well? Would you make any changes from Tuesday's win at home to Rotherham United? Thank you all for watching. Have a great rest of your day, and I'll see you very soon for another one.